So here we go. I'm with Scott McLafferty with UMass, right?
Yep. Thank you for
So
having me, Nick.
what's that?
Appreciate it. Said thanks for having me.
You bet. That's awesome. So I guess quick bio, your
Yeah.
role and what you do there
All
at.
right. I've been here. I've been at UMass for 3 years now, coming up on my third season. So been all over the country, really. Started off at Oklahoma State, and then kind of went with Yancey McKnight to Louisiana Tech University, and then also went with him to Rice University, and then we're there for a good 5 or 6 years, and then they went to Iowa State, and I went to Boston College, and
Gotcha.
then we about 5 years later met up at Texas, and then I got the director job at Boston College after 2018 season at University of Texas, and then and then we got let go at Boston College, and then got the director job at Colorado State, and then now I'm at UMass. So been
Nice.
all over. So
Keeps moving, but yeah, you
keep
like
moving, keep going.
Northeast,
So yeah, well, I married a New England girl, so
right?
got to keep them
So it's
happy.
home, right? No,
But no, I
that's
like it
awesome.
up here.
And you're the director now. How's it set up at UMass, Scott? Are you over all sports, or is
So I'm
there?
not. So we have
Okay.
we have basically, um, so we have, I want to say, one, two, three, four different weight rooms. All right. So
Oh,
we have football only. So I'm football only, and then I have two guys underneath me. All right, and then we have our internship program and all that stuff. And then
sure.
we have in Boyden, there's another where they house all the Olympic sports, and then basketball has their own, hockey has their own, and I believe hockey and baseball
Okay.
share the facility, but then all the other sports are in on our Olympic side that are in Boyden, so in a different weight room. So
Gotcha.
it's nice. It's nice to be able to have
Right.
access to all these facilities so we're not overlapping, and we can kind of right now basketball's using our facility because they're getting their facility redone and stuff like that. So it's good.
Oh, nice. I got to reach
Yeah.
out to them, Scott.
Yeah. Well, I've shown them all your stuff. So it's like they've come
Okay.
over here and used our weight room and things like that. So
Oh, that's a good product. When's that going to be done? Before season? Or
they're actually working on it right now. They were doing floor this past week, and so then
okay.
Sornex is coming in to, I think, install towards the end of the well, it's Friday now, so hopefully early next week. So
Gotcha. So it's rolling. It's way
mhm.
okay. Cool. Um, how about basic philosophy? Like what it overall kind of overview of the guys show up, you got new freshmen coming
So
in, just in
it's
general.
changed, and I mean the philosophy hasn't changed. Our philosophy hasn't changed. We're going to train hard. We're going to train, but we're going to do it smart, and we're going to be respectful, right? And what I've used in the past is like, and I go off, when I was with Yancey McKnight, for so many years, and our philosophy was always the same, was respect and treat each other with respect. And then you're able, when you have that, and it's earned both ways. So,
Sure.
I don't expect them to respect me right away, but I'm going to earn their trust and their respect. And and that's the same way with them. They're going to have to earn my trust and their respect, the same thing. So, and it works both ways, and it's earned every day. So I take that approach when I coach. I take that approach when I'm programming, that
Very
I
cool.
am I am doing the best we can for our student athletes and our football team. And and it's me showing up the same way every day, not having a day off, because I'm expecting them to do the same thing. And
Nice.
and when we train, and we train hard, and that's the thing that I say, there's 24 hours in a day. When you come in here, I'm not trying to waste your time. We are trying to get better. And that's constantly what we're trying to do. And so I need them to be locked in for whatever it is. If it's an hour, if it's 2 hours, you got the rest of the day to do whatever the heck you want to do. So
Right.
when you're in here, it's like, it's blue collar mentality. Clock in, let's get our job done, and I'm not here to waste your time, and I'm not here to just occupy you at
Right.
all. We're here to train and get you out and stuff like
Right.
that. So, it's just And it hasn't changed over the years, even with the new era of NIL and all this stuff and transfer portal. Like, and I tell the guys all the time when they come in, like, hey, what we do and how we program is we're developing constantly, nonstop. It's not just because you're a fifth year guy doesn't mean you can't still be developed. Like we
Right.
come in here and the way we do it, we work on strength every day. We work on speed every day. We work on hypertrophy every day. So it's not every day you come in here, there's an emphasis. You're working on something, you're getting better. So you're constantly growing. Whether you come in as a freshman, whether you come in as a junior, senior, it doesn't matter. Like we're still developing you. And
Right.
that's the great thing about what we do and what we have control of, and things like that. So
Good. And the guys are receptive. How's the crew this year?
oh, I love it. But we've been here for, I'm coming up on my third year and I love these guys, man.
Sure.
I'm telling you, we just
They're
kept
growing with you,
and we
right?
just kept, and I have like, the majority of them are still here that we've had, and we've brought a lot of good pieces in. And that's the thing is like every year is trying to add better pieces, and you're trying to put that puzzle together. So hopefully, in a couple of years when your culture's developed and you kind of like, okay, you got some guys that exit the program and you're going to replace them with great human beings and great people, and that not only can play football at a high level, but also
Right.
bring value to your culture, especially when you're having to bring new guys in. And that's huge. That's crucial. And our coaches have done a great job at being able to bring those characters in, the guys with great character, with great passion, and that love football and love the game. And it makes my job easy.
Right. Well,
It
and
just
then
makes it
like
easy. And so it's
right.
like, it's great. Like all summer, we had one guy oversleep one time, and it's beautiful. I
Right.
mean, that's awesome. That's amazing. At
Sure.
8 weeks of
Pretty nominal.
workouts and one time, one guy, and he was a young guy and he was very apologetic, and I was like, hey, you don't make this a habit. That's the only thing you can't do is make this a habit, and you'll
Right.
be fine. So
Right. No. Well, what's nice with the whole win now mentality, it's almost like you don't have time to train. But in your situation, being there 3 years, going on four, at least you're going to get a whole class, right, through the whole
right.
system. And that probably just makes a huge difference, right, in the culture,
Yeah.
in the whole process. I mean, you are right. You're teaching new guys that come in the portal, like you're saying, or new transfers or whatever, but or and the new freshmen, of course. But if they fit into the system that you've developed, and there's some longevity there, I just think the culture is more rock solid than every 2 years flipping, right?
Well, and that's what's kind of cool about like our situation was like the guys that are still here and that are playing, we have probably half our team that when I first got here still here. So
Sure.
what's cool about that, those guys played when they were young.
Right.
They've been playing every year. They start playing when they're young. So right now, just to watch their growth and like seeing how much better they are now than they were when I got here,
Right.
it's night and day. It's night and day, and that's what's fun about this is like it's just watching those guys, and they're going in their last year. A lot of them that when I first got here, they're going in their senior year, and I want to say we had 7 to 10 seniors last year, and we have 29 this year.
Wow.
So it's huge. It's like it's big just to have the maturity, the growth, and like just to be able to go in with guys that have played a lot of football, and
Sure.
that's what's awesome. So
Oh, that's great. Well, and then when
hopefully
you go,
hopefully it shows this year. Hopefully it shows on
right,
the
good.
win
We'll be
column,
watching. We want to see it. Well, with that too, kind of morphing into Performex,
Yeah,
you did some new things when you got there. New flooring, which was great,
right.
right? And integrated
Yeah,
some of our TrackX systems in
yeah.
the floor. And just tell me a little bit about how that came
So
to be in your
well,
background with our company.
so I've known, Nick, we've known each other for quite a long time now. So, and it's kind of like, I first saw the tracking stuff when I went and visited Iowa State, went and hung out with Yance and Clayton and those guys at Iowa State and EA. And it was awesome. Like I just like the value in it was just incredible. And like, and I always said like that's I tell guys, I go, that's the first thing I do if I'm gonna come into a new program, if we're going to install new equipment or whatever, that's the first thing I do
Sure.
is get the cords. And to me, like if you just think about it, like I remember when I was working at Rice University with Jansen, and we're sitting there, and we would have to move 100-pound dumbbells all the time to the racks to hook up bands. And this is before they even had band attachments, you know?
Right.
And you're
Right.
sitting
On
there
the
going like,
ropes.
and I mean, it was crazy. And then sometimes you were trying to match bands that had the same the same tension on both sides, and you wanted to make it so it was safe for the athletes and things like that. And so it was a
Right.
process, it was just it was probably every day was like an hour-long process, which was great because we were utilizing it in a great way. But
Sure.
and that's the thing with like the chords, like you walk in there and it's just so much easy and efficient. And like I said earlier, I don't want to like waste guys' time. Like I don't
Right.
I don't want to spend all day
Or your
setting
own,
up or
and your
breaking
own time.
down.
Yeah.
And so, and even when they come, even in this the thing, it was great when they had band attachments, it was great, but you still have bands wear differently. And
Sure.
if you don't match them up the same, like, with the tracking system, which is great, is like the bands stay on that rack. They don't change racks. So the same guys that kind of stay on their racks and use those racks, they're going to wear at the same time, which is awesome. So you don't ever have to worry about the tension being different on either side, or someone's, your spinal load's going to be different or anything like that. It's always going to be the same, which
Right.
and to me, it, that's what you want. It's for the guys to be safe, and they know they're going to get in there and it's going to be the same. And for programming, it's easy. It's so much easier to program because the tension,
Sure.
the weight that it's going to add, and you can dial it in, add, be more precise when you're programming and working percentages and things like that. So,
Oh, that's awesome. So, no, I appreciate it.
yeah.
That's good. It's good feedback on it because that's the idea. It's just to, you guys don't have time, and we know that. And that's the idea, is to really help give you tools that can help in your programming, but also help, like you mentioned, save time. Um,
Right.
how about programming? Benny brought that up. When do you kind of program in,
Well,
accommodating resistance into your system?
Well, I mean, we use it all the time.
Do
Like
you
it,
like?
if we're working on speed, we're doing some kind of accommodated resistance. Like, I mean, and so like you got to think about it every day. We have like, and it goes back to when we program, we have an emphasis of whether it's a speed day or if it's a lower speed day, upper speed day, it doesn't matter, right? So we use them constantly. And even like it goes back to recruiting, like it's a huge recruiting tool for us. When I can sit there and tell a student athlete, especially you have older guys and seniors, when they come in and say, hey, this is how we're going to take care of you. And like, we're going to go in season, we're going to use these bands, we're going to use these chains, we're going to use these cords. And what's great about that is like, I can take wear and tear off your joints. At the
Sure.
weakest part of the movement, when your joints are there, I can take a ton of stress off those joints, but still maintain our strength and still really kind of work through the tension, that we can maintain our strength and still basically get stronger in season and
Sure.
keep working our percentages that are going to keep helping us develop. But going back to recruiting tool, is guys want to know how you're going to take care of them, how you're
Sure.
going to keep them healthy, how are you going to every day you're going to go outside and you're going to, whether you're running back, your receiver, you're going to get hit, you're going to bang your joints up, you're going to, how can I get what I want out of it, but keep you safe in here and protect you in here,
Right.
and so it just goes back to basically, and they love to hear that, and their parents love to hear that. They go, whoa, you see their look on their face, and they're like, oh, okay, this guy,
Right.
they're going to take care of my kid, they're going to take care of my son, they're going to work on things, and so it's a great tool all the way around. So
No, that's awesome. No, that makes sense. I mean, if you can utilize it year round and mix it in where, into your phases of all that you do, it makes a ton of sense, especially if you're trying to move the weight quicker. And are you measuring it too? Do you
yeah,
have tools to, yeah. So you're
so we have
tracking something.
tendos, we have tendo units
Okay.
and all that stuff, and so it's just night and day for these guys to have feedback and see those things,
Sure.
and so that's what's it's fun. And we probably use it more, like, I mean, we use it constantly all year round. On some aspect, we're going to hook them up during the week.
Right.
You know, and probably more in season, you know,
Sure.
than out of season, but we still at some time during the week we're using them.
That's awesome. All
So
right. So full use. Good. Well, that's nice to know. No, that's helpful for sure to understand that it's beneficial enough that that's a big piece of your programming that's unique. So we appreciate that here at PerformX. So thanks, Scott. That's awesome. Um, how about, we can keep this short and sweet, but it's just
yeah,
like all these high school coaches is kind of what we're trying to get more and more of those all sports coaches to integrate more at the high school level. What's a good piece of advice to tell all the coach, a volleyball coach, a basketball coach at a high school, just to say, hey, what's the benefits you see? And you've mentioned some of them here, Scott, but what's one thing you could probably say to a high school? Like even out in UMass, there's a high school, if I go visit the coaches, what would we say to
right.
them to, you know, about the court systems and track?
Well, I what the you can use them in all aspects. I mean, you have a 360 belt that you know that you come with them that they could use for plyometric training, anything. Like they don't even need a bar. You know, there's a million times where we use it just to have resistance for whatever other kind of
A
explosive movements
movement.
that we're
Yeah.
doing. So
Okay.
it's like even movement patterns and just like your platforms have like the old dot mat, right? The old,
Sure.
you know, which is just you're trying to get, especially kids in high school, that you're trying to maybe they're not great with a barbell, you know, but you can
Sure.
still some kind of have or some kind of resistance, and they can go through their planes of movements and different movement patterns that are going to help them and benefit them in growing, you know. Um, and and who knows, like you're using bands, right? So what's the difference in, you know, when your tendons in your knees and things, you know, your joints and your ligaments and things like that, that they're going to help those build, you know, and get stronger because they have to stabilize and all that thing. In a high school kid, I think it's crucial. I think it's huge in their
Nice.
development because they're still growing into their body. I mean, every year they're you know, they're going to get stronger, they're going to get faster, but they're also growing at the same time at a fast rate. And it's only going to do anything. I mean, it's going to help on all aspects,
Sure, because they can incorporate it in many different ways. I mean, because
many
that's
different ways.
I mean, a lot of football coaches love it because they have some understanding, I think, of variable resistance, accommodating resistance in combination with squat, bench, and dead. But the jump piece and the floor, I think we have a lot of these, other coaches that, can see ways to get in the weight room. So, we feel that would be beneficial, and you probably agree with that. That other
I
sport
would agree with that.
coaches, hey,
But
that
then
makes more sense.
also, if you can go back and think about when you're train like when I was training like you know high school kids or even younger, and you're trying to teach them how to properly squat, right,
Sure.
or pick up a bar. What would be great about having a little band tension that kind of will keep you locked in too? Like
Sure.
you know there's aspects of that too that's going to keep you in a it's going to help you keep in that right movement patterns that can help you basically lay a foundation so when they do kind of take the bars off that they've done it, and it kind of you know it'll help teach them the proper mechanics if they're doing it right, you know.
Sure. Yeah, without any weight, right? I mean,
Hmm.
you can get the bar stabilized.
With just the band tension, and it's kind of directing you down and up, and you're still fighting through and getting good resistance. You can even say that about the dead, like you know your dead chords, that
Sure.
if a guy's learning how to deadlift, yes you can, but it can also keep you in line and keep you, you know, kind of give you a path that you can't kind of waver from in a way,
Right.
you
No, I
know.
like that term, lock you in. That's kind of what you could do, especially with the, a lot of them are doing trap bar deads, right? I mean,
Right,
and so even a little bit more, direct up and down.
right.
And they work well with, trap bars we see all the time that people are using.
Mhm.
You probably utilize that too at your
I use
program.
both. Yeah, we use it all.
I bet that's
We
awesome.
do it all. So
No, dude, that's great. Well, thanks, Scott. I just wanted to chat with you quick today. We appreciate you
yeah,
doing this little PerformX Talk Live session. We'll put some details of this together, and we'll just do a little feature on you. So if you got some
Yeah.
photos and stuff, you could send over a couple of
Oh yeah,
videos.
I need to take
Get,
some. So I might have some old ones to like
get
some.
some of your
This,
interns in there demoing
I
some
will.
stuff. That'd be
I
awesome. If you
will.
have a little time, that'd be great, Scott.
No doubt. I can do
Well,
that. So,
well, thanks for making
all
time.
right.
I appreciate it. I got to get
You're
up
right, Nick.
to the east and visit you one of these days. So we'll
No
check it out.
doubt. It'll be fun. So, all
Cool.
right.
Well, have
Appreciate
a
it.
great season. We'll be watching. So I want to see you running up and down the sidelines yelling at those
Oh,
guys.
I will.
Okay. In a good way, right?
Yeah, I can't help it. I can't help it. So,
Oh, that's awesome,
good.
Scott. Well, thanks for your time, and we'll catch you later. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
All
Yeah,
right.
you got it.